Hello, my name is Joshua Mugabi, and I welcome you to this section of multiple choice questions. Today we are looking at nutrition, and this is the first part of our multiple choice questions. We are going to answer 50 questions, and all the answers are provided. Please don't forget to visit my YouTube channel. Type in Mugabi Joshua in YouTube. You will see my channel and enjoy all the various programs that I've put there for you. Please don't forget to press the subscription button. Thank you. Let us begin. These multiple choice questions are similar to the ones set by the UNEB, KCSE, GCSE, and IGCSE examination boards. You have limited time to select the best alternative. The green button indicates that the answer is the correct answer or correct option. But don't worry, the correct alternative will be highlighted after you looking at all the available alternatives. Now, other alternatives which are not the correct alternatives will be indicated by the red button. I wish you the best of luck. Please, I remind you, don't forget to visit my YouTube channel. Just type in Mugabi Joshua. You will see my channel and enjoy all the various programs that I've put there for you. Please don't forget to press the subscription button. Thank you very much. Let us now start our questions. Question 1. Inactive pepsinogen is changed to active pepsin by option A, enterokinase, B, erepsin, C, hydrochloric acid, D, succus entericus. Which one of the following objectives is the correct alternative? The correct alternative is C, hydrochloric acid. Question 2. In commensalism, A, both members benefit. B, both members are harmed. C, one member benefits, the other is harmed. D, one benefits, the other does not and is not harmed. Which of the following alternatives is the best alternative? The best alternative is D. One benefits, the other does not and is not harmed. Question 3. The liver does not A, break down red blood cells. B, manufacture urea. C, manufacture bile. D, manufacture insulin. Which of the following alternatives is the correct alternative? The correct alternative is D, manufacture insulin. Question number 4. An incisor tooth can be identified from a correction of molar teeth of man because it has A, enamel covering the dentine. B, more than one root and broad crown. C, only one root and chisel-shaped crown. D, only one root, broad crown, and a dentine. Which one of the following alternatives is the correct alternative. The correct alternative is C, only one root and chisel-shaped crown. Question 5. One reason why the human body cannot manufacture proteins directly from salts and carbohydrates is because they lack A. Sulfur, B. Phosphorus, C. Oxygen, D. Nitrogen. Which one of the following alternatives is a correct alternative? The correct alternative is D. Nitrogen. Question 6. Deficiency of which one of the following will most likely result in tooth decay? A. Iodine, B. Iron, C. Calcium and phosphorus, D. Potassium and magnesium. Which one of the following alternatives is the correct alternative? The correct alternative is C. Calcium and phosphorus. Question 7. The liver stores insoluble carbohydrates called A. Sugar, B. Glycogen, C. Glucose, D. Starch. Which one of the following alternatives is the best alternative? The best alternative is B. Glycogen. Question 8. Which of the following is a byproduct of photosynthesis? A. Oxygen, B. Carbon dioxide, C. Water, D. Protein. Which of the following alternatives is a correct alternative? The correct alternative is A. Oxygen. Question 9. When sucrose is hydrolyzed with dilute hydrochloric acid, it is dissociated into A. Glucose and glucose, B. Glucose and galactose, C. Galactose and fructose, D. Glucose and fructose. Which one of the following alternatives is the best alternative? The best alternative is D. Glucose and fructose. Question 10. Lactose, which is milk sugar, is composed of A. Glucose and fructose, B. Glucose and galactose, C. Fructose and galactose, D. Glucose and glucose. Which one of the following alternatives is a correct alternative? A correct alternative is B. Glucose and galactose. Question 11. Which one of the following dental formula is that of a sheep? A. Incisors 0 to 1/1. Canine 0, premolars 3/3, molars 3/3. B. Incisors 2/2, canine 0/0, premolars 2/2 molars, 3/3. C. Incisors 0/3, canine 0/1, premolars 3/3, molars 3/3. D. Incisors 2/2, canine 0/3, premolars 2/2, molars 3/3. Which one of the following alternatives is the correct alternative? The correct alternative is C. Incisors 0/3, canine 0/1, premolars 3/3, molars 3/3. Question 12. Intracellular digestion occurs in A. Fungi, B. Amoeba, C. Man, D. Tapeworm. Which one of the following alternatives is the correct alternative? The correct alternative is B. Amoeba. Question 13. When enzymes are subjected to extreme heat, they become A. Deactivated, B. Inactivated, C. Denatured, D. Sterilized. Which one of the following alternatives is a correct alternative? The correct alternative is C. Denatured. Question 14. A food was tested by boiling it with Benedict's solution. The resulting mixture turned orange. The food contains A. Proteins, B. Fats, C. Reducing sugars, D. Glucose. Which one of the following is a correct alternative? The correct alternative is C. Reducing sugars. Question 15. If the liver of a person is damaged, which of the following activities is likely to be affected? A. Digestion of proteins, B. Formation of glycogen, C. Elimination of urine, D. Regulation of water. Which one of the following alternatives is the correct alternative? The correct alternative is B. Formation of glycogen. Question 16. Which of the following does not assist the leaf during photosynthesis? A. The xylem, B. Phloem, C. Pith, D. Stomata. Which one of the following alternatives is the correct alternative? The correct alternative is C. Pith. Question 17. Which of the following disease is caused by deficiency of mineral in the body? A. Diabetes, B. Hemophilia, C. Anemia, D. Tonsillitis. Which one of the following alternatives is the correct alternative? The correct alternative is C, anemia. Question 18. The sensitive part of the tooth is the A, root, B, pulp, C, dentine, D, enamel. Which of the following alternatives is the best alternative? The best alternative is B, pulp. Question 19. The main reason why there is no starch in saliva in the white region of a variegated leaf is because it A, is made of dead cells, B, reflects most of the light, C, absorbs most of the light, D, the white part do not contain chlorophyll. Which one of the following alternatives is the correct alternative? The correct alternative is A, is made of dead cells. Question 20. Which of the following mineral salts are responsible for the development of bones and teeth? A, calcium and phosphorus, B, calcium and vitamin D, C, phosphorus and vitamin D, D, calcium and iron. Which one of the following alternatives is the correct alternative? The correct alternative is A, calcium and phosphorus. Question 21. Which one of the following is the function of diastema? A, assists the teeth in chewing the food. B, performs the role of canines and premolars. C, separates the food being chewed from that being cut. D, provides a passage for the borers. Which one of the following alternatives is the correct alternative? The correct alternative is C, separates the food being chewed from that being cut. Question 22. What happens to the enzyme if the temperature of the medium is increased to above 50 degrees centigrade? It would be A, killed, B, activated, C, denatured, D, inactivated. Which one of the following alternatives is a correct alternative? The correct alternative is C, denatured. Question 23. Which of the following is not a component of saliva? A, water, B, ptyalin, C, mucus, D, renin. Which one of the following alternatives is the correct alternative? The correct alternative is D, renin. Question 24. Presence of protein in Buretti's test is confirmed by the mixture turning A, red, B, blue-black, C, orange, D, purple. Which one of the following alternatives is the correct alternatives? The correct alternative is D, purple. Question 25. Which of the following diets could cause kwashiorkor in children? A. Millet with fish. B. Cassava and beans. C. Rice and meat. D. Bananas with green vegetables. Which one of the following alternatives is the correct alternative? The correct alternative is D, bananas with green vegetables. Question 26. The type of nutrition which is characterized of green plants is A. Autotrophic nutrition. B. Heterotrophic nutrition. C. Holozoic nutrition. D. Parasitic nutrition. Which of the following alternatives is the best alternative? The best alternative is A. Autotrophic nutrition. Question 27. Holophytism is characteristic of A. Green plant and fungi. B. Green plants only. C. Parasitic organisms. D. Animals and some plants. Which one of the following alternatives is a correct alternative? The correct alternative is C. Parasitic organisms. Question 28. Iodine deficiency in man results into A. Dwarfism. B. Goiter. C. Diabetes. D. Thyroxine. Which one of the following alternatives is a correct alternative? The correct alternative is B. Goiter. Question 29. A vulture is called a scavenger because it A. Hunt other live animals. B. Feeds on dead animals left over. C. Hunts at night. D. Is fed on by other animals. Which one of the following alternatives is a correct alternative? A correct alternative is B. Feeds on dead animals left over. Question 30. A rabbit is able to utilize cellulose because it A. Has symbiotic bacteria in the stomach. B. Has symbiotic bacteria in the cecum. C. Has a very long alimentary canal. D. Secrete the enzyme cellulose. Which one of the following alternatives is a correct alternative? The correct alternative is B. Has symbiotic bacteria in cecum. Question 31. Maltase catalyzes breakdown of maltose into A. Fructose and galactose. B. Lactose and glucose. C. Peptide and amino acids. D. Only glucose molecules. Which one of the following alternatives is a correct alternative? A correct alternative is D. Only glucose molecules. Question 32. The digestion of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins occur in the A. Stomach, B. Ileum, C. Colon, D. Liver. Which one of the following alternatives is a correct alternative? The correct alternative is B. Ileum. Question 33. Chlorophyll is removed from leaves before they are tested for starch because A. Otherwise, the iodine would not react. B. Color changes would not be seen easily. C. This helps the alcohol to penetrate the leaf. D. Boiling in water kills the leaf. Which one of the following alternative is a correct alternative? The correct alternative is B. Color changes would not be seen easily. Question 34. Which of the following dental formula belongs to a carnivore? A. Incisor 3 out of 3, canine 1 out of 1, premolars 4 out of 4, molars 2 out of 2. B. Incisor 3 out of 3, canine 1 out of 1, premolars 4 out of 4, molars 3 out of 3. C. Incisors 0 out of 3, canine 0 out of 1, premolars 3 out of 3, molars 3 out of 3. D. Incisors 2 out of 1, canine 0 out of 0, premolars 3 out of 3, molars 3 out of 3. Which one of the following alternatives is a correct alternative? The correct alternative is A. Incisors 3 out of 3, canine 1 out of 1, premolars 4 out of 4, molars 2 out of 2. Question 35. Which one of the following components of man's balanced diet are all absorbed without being digested? A. Mineral salts, fats, and water. B. Proteins, carbohydrates, and vitamins. C. Roughage, mineral salts, and water. D. Mineral salts, vitamins, and water. Which of the following alternatives is the correct alternative? The correct alternative is D. Mineral salts, vitamins, and water. Question 36. The incisors are used for A. Grinding, B. Nipping, C. piercing. D. Cutting. Which one of the following alternatives is a correct alternative? The correct alternative is D. Cutting. Question 37. Fellings or Benedict's test in biochemical tests for A. Starch, B. Reducing sugars, C. Glycogen, D. Cellulose. Which one of the following alternatives is the best alternatives? The best alternative is B. Reducing sugars. Question 38. In the list given below, choose the best equation to suit the summary equation for photosynthesis. A. Glucose plus oxygen gives us carbon dioxide and water. B. 4 hydroxyl molecules plus light gives us water and oxygen. C. Carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of chlorophyll gives us glucose and oxygen. D. Carbon dioxide plus water gives us hydrogen ions, hydroxonium ions, and oxygen. Which of the following alternatives is a correct alternative? The correct alternative is C. Carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of chlorophyll gives us glucose plus oxygen. Question 39. If a green leaf was tested for starch, which of the following would not show the blue-black color with iodine? A. The mesophyll layer. B. The palisade layer. C. The epidermis layer. D. The guard cells. Which one of the following alternatives is the correct alternative? The correct alternative is A. Mesophyll layer. Question 40. Enzymes are denatured by high temperature because they A. Are protein in nature, B. Are organic catalysts, C. Are inorganic in nature, D. Contain minerals. Which one of the following alternatives is a best alternative? The best alternative is A. Are protein in nature. Question 41. The mode of feeding displayed by Mugabi is described as A. Holozoic, B. Halophytic, C. Parasitic, D. Saprophytic. Which one of the following alternatives is a correct alternative? The correct alternative is D. Saprophytic. Question 42. Which one of the following factors is not important as far as nutrition of the common mold is concerned? A. Production of large quantities of spores. B. Anaerobic respiration. C. Highly branched mycelium. D. Secretion of enzymes. Which one of the following alternatives is a correct alternative? The correct alternative is D. Secretion of enzymes. Question 43. Belly comes as a result of deficiency of A. Retinol. B. Thiamine. C. Riboflavin. D. Nicotinic acid. Which one of the following alternatives is a correct alternative? The correct alternative is B. Thiamine. Question 44. Which one of the following contain enzymes that complete digestion? A. Pancreatic juice. B. Bile. C. Succus entericus. D. Duodenal juice. Which one of the following is a correct alternative? The correct alternative is C. Succus entericus. Question 45. The enzymes that function in the ileum are produced in the A. Wall of the stomach and liver. B. Liver and pancreas. C. Pancreas and the wall of the small intestine. D. Wall of the small intestine and the stomach. Which one of the following is a correct alternative? The correct alternative is C. Pancreas and the wall of the small intestine. Question 46. A medium of high pH stops the action of A. Pepsin. B. Lipase. C. Thiolin. D. Maltase. Which one of the following is a correct alternative? The correct alternative is C. Thiolin. Question 47. Carbohydrates are compounds of carbon. A. Hydrogen and calcium. B. Hydrogen and oxygen. C. Hydrogen and phosphorus. D. Oxygen and phosphorus. Which one of the following alternatives is a correct alternative? The correct alternative is B. Hydrogen and oxygen. Question 48. Why does grass turn yellow when covered by a wooden board for some time? A. Light is needed for photosynthesis. B. The wood does not contain iron. C. Light is needed for chlorophyll formation. D. oxygen is prevented to reach the grass. Which one of the following alternatives is a correct alternative? The correct alternative is C. Light is needed for chlorophyll formation. Question 49. The first visible product from photosynthetic process is A. Fats, B. Lipids, C. Starch, D. Proteins. Which one of the following is a correct alternative? The correct alternative is C. Starch. Question 50. Which one of the following is not true about enzymes? They A. Accelerate the rate of chemical reaction in the body. B. Withstand effects of high temperature. C. Act on only one kind of substrate. D. Are inactivated by temperature below freezing point. Which one of the following is the correct alternative? The correct alternative is B. Withstand effects of high temperature. Thank you very much for attending to these 50 multiple choice questions on nutrition. Now it is time for us to go to part 2, where we shall meet another 50 questions to answer. Please don't forget to visit my YouTube channel. Type in Mugabi Joshua. You will see my channel and enjoy all the various programs that are there. Please don't forget to press the subscription button. Thank you very much and God bless you. Let's meet in part 2, nutrition, and answer those multiple choice questions.